Hello folks, this is Marcus again, and today we are going to create this tutorial where I'm gonna show you how we can animate buttons. But before, I really want to demonstrate the prototype working so we can have this idea of how things they are going to be. So give me just a second. I will zoom out a little bit. I will select this screen. This screen is really simple. We did that before a couple of tutorials ago, so there is no such hard thing to do. And then let me select this screen. I already did the prototype, so there is a connection over here, and then we have one more connection exactly here in this point, okay? But don't be afraid, because later I will show you in details all the little things we should do to get things done. So I will show the prototype like I told you before a couple of seconds ago. Let me play it here. So we have this screen, right? But then mainly in web applications, when we hover the mouse, the button, it has to be different, right? So see here, I have here next, and when I hover, I just wrote it here, hover, so you can realize that this state is while my mouse is here, but then when I move out, things, they come back to be the same one, right? And then it has this animation hover, but it has an action too, because when I click, see, we have a couple of things here. I don't know if you realize that, but I will press R. Oops, not gonna work because I didn't set the beginning of this flow. So I have to click it here. Then I can name, for example, I don't have any one here, but it's good to name like animating buttons, something like this, right? So now when I'm here, I can press R and I go to the very beginning of the flow. So this is cool. So let's go again. When I click C, I have this animation, this spinner, and then we go to the next page. But see, come with me. I'm gonna tell you something right now. We didn't click at this point. For example, here, I didn't click anything. So the spinner will process, and then a sort of or a trigger will trigger the action, and then the user is gonna be taken to the next page. And this is cool because when we are working with real products, you know, we have to consider the technology, because I'm telling that because I have a lot of experience in this field. So we need to understand a little better how things work in the back end side or even front end side. For example, when we submit some information, it goes to the database, for example, and then it has to be processed, and then it will come back to us. So it takes some seconds sometimes, and we have to cover this sort of situation, right? Okay, so let's learn how to do all those things. But first of all, I have this black bar here. I don't want to have this way. I will come back here, design. I will pick up the color, this dark blue from here, and it will be exactly the same one from here too. So now I'm cool, I'm okay with this. So we are going to make these animations, right? These states too, and all those things together. Talking a little about these components, we don't need to do by scratch. If you are new to my channel, I recommend you to turn around, step back, and go straight to the previous tutorials. Now I'm doing some sort of section of prototyping, micro interactions and animations and things in this field. But before I started this channel doing a lot of Android components, so material design. So we have a lot of things here, right? So I recommend you to watch some of my previous tutorials so you can understand a little better the way that I like to approach things, the way that I work normally, and things like this. So let's see from where I got these this scheme, this screen, right? So you can see over here we have a lot of tutorials. I don't know if you guys do all my tutorials, but the interface, the component, so I grab it from here. I got here, so drop down tutorial, right? So if you didn't watch my this specific tutorial, recommend you to go there and to watch it, so you can learn how to do those things, and then you can get the components from here, or you can design by scratch. It's not a problem, right? So if you did that with me, if you have all the components properly done, for example, here we have this flow and all components are real components. And when I talk like these real components, I'm trying to say that we can come here like active, we can change over, see, we have many states opened, we have, let me switch more, we have here selected, right? So we just need to copy this screen, we don't need to do anything more, right? So I'm gonna copy from here because the tutorial, it is focusing on like I said before, micro interactions, prototyping, and so on and so forth. So I just copied from here and I pasted exactly like this. I'm gonna you can let this black color, is not a problem. This is not a matter of this tutorial, right? And then we have this button over here. We draw many buttons in the past, it's not a problem to have buttons, right? And then we have to go to our page, the place where we organize our components, our symbols. You decide the way you want to call that. So I will click here to go to the master component, and here I can see a lot of them. So in one tutorial many time ago, we did our first buttons, right? And then in other time we did this one here. So those here we did before, and then we did those here. I'm gonna lock, Control Shift L. I'm using Windows. If you are using Mac, probably it's Command Alt L to lock this thing here. So see, we have all the buttons that we need exactly here. I can, for example, select this one, right? Copy from here, for example, come back to the right page, and I can paste just like this. And then you can say something like, oh, wait, the corner, they are too round. It's not a problem. We can come here, type 2 or something like this. See, we have this button, right? So I'm gonna replace, because let me see the distance here, 24. That's cool. I'm gonna show you another cool thing. We can place, for example, see, come with me, just a little hacky, I can say this way, a little tricky. We can click here, align bottom, right? Then I can type here to have the right distance. Let me see what I'm trying to do over here. Position, is that here? Yeah, that's here. I can type here -24. No, actually not this way. I should have placed it here, you know, align it here, like snap here. Oops. And then I type -24. So we can have this distance, you know, we don't need to align that hard. And for example, here we can align here, right? Then we can type, oh, 0 position in X plus 24. See, we can control our distances like this. So I increase this button, right? And then I type here -24. It's pretty easy to have things done. Cool. So let's change all components at once, because they are components like I told you before. But here in this stage of the screen, they are, the user didn't do anything to them. They are active, but they didn't get any interaction yet. So we are going to select all of them. They are mixed. We will open it here. Let me see if that makes any sense. doesn't seem, let me select the different types of components, right? So because this one, they are select, drop down, and this one, and oops, and this one, they are inputs, so they are active. I'm gonna change to typing, okay, or type it, even better. Then I will enter the information like Orlando Peters Street. I'm gonna copy from here, but in your case, I recommend you to type, because I don't think that you are going to have other way to fill it. So maybe you do, but maybe use some Figma plugin, something that I didn't show you yet. But you guys, you are clever in many situations. You guys have more knowledge than I do over here using Figma or UX UI design, but in many of them you don't, and I believe that for this reason you are here watching my tutorial, right? And it happens for me too. For example, there are things that I don't know, even talking about design, and then I have this necessity. I go to YouTube channels. I'm just like you guys. There are some YouTubers that I follow, I subscribe, I watch the videos, and I learn things. I'm not talking exactly here about Figma, because UI stuff is the thing that I do on daily basis. It's my bread and butter, my daily bread. But in other things, like for example, research, the hard one, you know, I go to YouTube and I learn things with guys that know more than me. You know, the life is just like this. We teach here, we learn there, and we go. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm really talkative in this tutorial, but sometimes it's cool to have this sort of conversation, right? So let's change it. In this case here, we are going to have those selects. They are active. I'm gonna go with active, opened, over. No. Let me see. I'm changing all of them. Selected. Yeah, this is data called selected. So like country, state, and city. So I'm from Brazil. I'm typing Brazil to my country. Not exactly typing, but I'm copying and pasting. Bahia. I'm not from Bahia, but it's a place that it's really cool. You can Google it, so you can see Bahia, good people, good beautiful places, and just cool. Here I'm gonna type next, all caps. Cool. So we got this first screen. We can name it properly. I can call, if the tutorial is named animating buttons, I will call the same way. I will type like one. Animating button. It's easy to identify things, right? So we need to do some adaptation to our design system. Let's say that we are building our design system. See, this state here, I don't have over there. I really don't. If I select this button, we did a lot of time ago. If I go to the master component, I don't have, actually I do. We do have here, but that was another situation. See, if we do have this, I am gonna replace, instead of using the other button, this here, I'm gonna use this one here, right? So let me copy this one here. Just copying. I'm gonna go back to the current tutorial, not this one, but this one. I'm gonna paste. I'm gonna change just for a matter of just some sort of eye candy. Actually, that button, I built that in a different way, so I will just keep this round stuff in the corners. I'm gonna call it next. Exactly the same. It's a little bigger, but that is no problem. I'm just changing it, guys, because we don't need to waste time with UI, because this tutorial we talk about interaction. Cool. 16, not 24, so let me adjust it here. Then I can increase like one more time. Done. Cool. Next. So what I was talking is that we have many states. All the states that we need, they are here. So we have this loading state, but see what happened, you know, things that we didn't plan before for that button, because that wasn't the case at that time. So it's good when these sort of things they happen, because we can go there and fix to learn how to fix problems. So let me go to the master component again, and the problem, it will be here. I need to select this, and then I have to do two constraints. Click in here, center, and center. Then I can use this shortcut to return to the instance. See, now I don't have more that problem. I can scale like this, you know. Cool to happen, because we can learn how to fix. So we have this little thing here, but the problem is that we don't have the animation, because if you got my point, like I showed you before, we don't have the animation. For example, let me run the prototype one more time. See, this animation we don't have, and this is one of the things that I want to show you guys. So we need to do that, and we are going to do in our we can do it here, then we can carry to the main component and apply there. It will not be a problem. What we need to do, it is we come here, we can copy and paste like this, like moving. Now we need some darker background so we can have more room. So I will press A, I will draw some frame like this. The color, it's gonna be dark, doesn't have to be black or any color, because it won't appear when we will place this little icon, this little animation on the button, won't appear. So yes, just for a matter of contrast to see what we are doing here. So yeah, and then we have this first part. See, this is a group and it's totally okay. When I did that, the matter of the tutorial wasn't to organize things and, you know, all the things that normally we do. I can call it shape, for example, Control A, Control C. I can click here twice, V, Control V, Control V, click twice, Control V, click twice, Control V, click twice, Control V. Just for a matter of organization. It won't change anything, but you know. So here we have all the things that we need to do. It's gonna be easier. What we have to do here, it is, see, come with me. I'm gonna show you. I will centralize it, and I will press Control C and Control V. I duplicate it. I will move down a little, and then what I have to do here, and you too, we can use even auto layout. So I will select both of them, Control A. Now I have this auto layout. I can control, and if I select it here, clicking twice and press Control D, I will have one more copy. So what we have to do over here, select here, the opacity, it's 30%. It has to be 100, no opacity. And here, oops, here 30%. And then in the next one, this one here has to be 30%. In this pass through, all right, because we're talking about the characteristics of the layer. And this one here, 100%. And we just need to duplicate, like selecting here, we applied a auto layout, we duplicate, and then we just change things just like this. 30. And then guys, if you have some doubt, it's totally understandable, and I encourage you to drop some line asking like, hey Marcus, I couldn't do some part of this tutorial, can you help me, giving me some advice. Normally it's hard to me because I have my my regular job, It's hard to me to answer all the questions that you guys may have, but it's a pleasure if I can help somehow, like replying some comments on YouTube. If you send me some email, it's not gonna be easier to answer, but if you drop a line on YouTube, I can see that. I don't promise, I don't, you know, I don't say that I'm going to reply that automatically, but one day I will see, and then when I see, that will be a pleasure to answer you guys. So let me see, that started exactly here, so the last one has to be this one here, pointing to north. Okay, so we have all the animations that we have. If you consider that it's better to have a little more room here, more space to manage things like 32, you can do that too, and then increase the frame too. But now, how can we do to have the animation running without stopping, our spinner running without stopping? So what we have to do over here, I will go to prototype, right? Then I will select, I will ungroup to remove the auto layout. I can ungroup. Let me jump back to the design tab, and then I will remove. Cool. Then I will ungroup. Then I will select here, go back to prototype, and then I will apply some interaction. Let me see what interaction I applied here. See, it's after delay, okay? And the time that will be for this first part here, 1 millisecond, and here is out 100. So 100, as easy as that, is like that. So let's do exactly the same. Select this first one here, just click here and connect to the second one. Okay, it won't be on click, it's gonna be after delay. And let me see why after delay is not working. On click, not working. I think that I know the reason, but we will verify that later. It's a component, okay? So let's apply a component. In the components, let me just move out. The components we are going to do, we will select, I will come back to design section. We will select, press and hold shift and select all of them. Cool. Now we are going to make a component with all of them. So create a component, not a component set, just component. Actually, let me remember the way that I did that. It doesn't seem right, but maybe, let me see here, component set. Yes, I was totally wrong. I'm sorry guys, it's a component set. Cool. I think that this is the first time that we are creating this component set. Then with time we will create many sort of components with cool and complexes, variants and things like this, but this is not time for now. What you need to do for a while, it is to select all of them. Cool, just like I did over here, selecting all of them, and then come here. They are not components individually, they are just groups, and then we apply this component set just like this. Don't wonder that much, don't burn your brain, just be cool and let's go on. So it's named loading, the name is cool, I don't need to change. And now it's time to connect things, so I have to click twice to select exactly the little part that I want. And now I do this, and as you can see, we have this after delay because it works with pages and with components, but not with normal elements, just like this. So after delay, it's gonna be 1 millisecond because I don't wanna wait any time to start the spinning thing. And here 100, okay? And now I want to connect the second one to the third one using the same logic, the same numbers, it's okay over here. Smart Animate, I think that will work. And then just follow the rule, follow the things, you know, the breadcrumbs. Just open it here, after delay 1 millisecond over here. Here it's okay too. Then do again, after delay 1 millisecond. One more time, after delay 1 millisecond, and then the last time. No, I'm just kidding, it's not the last time, because we have, after this one we have one more to do. So after delay 1 millisecond over here once again, and then we have to connect this last one to the first one. So this is a looping, you know what, a looping. So we have to have this thing too. Otherwise this spinning will run just once, and then there is no connection to do the second loop, the third loop, the fourth loop, and so on and so forth. Okay, now it's time to test. Let me run this flow here. I don't know what sort of thing is going on if I run exactly this way at this point. Nothing happens. Okay, I was expecting for that, but I will do exactly this. I will remove this little starting flow from here. So I select and I remove exactly like this. This frame I will call loading to. Cool. I will cut. I said cut, not cut. It's cut. So I will cut. What the hell with this button? This white thing over here. Something that this container, yeah, I don't know what I was doing. That's not a problem too. Just, yeah. Okay, let me come back to the components over here. And now what I want to do is I want to paste what I cut from there. So this loading, okay. And now I will select one from here, copy, click out, paste. And now I move, as you can see here, loading variant 18. It's a component. It doesn't matter each one I selected. Just for a matter of organization, I will let just loading, okay. Then I will replace, I will move to here. I will delete this one and I will centralize this one. I have to make sure that it is inside of the button, okay. So I adjusted my spinning, I adjusted my button, okay. Now I want to come back to the page where I was before. It is animating buttons, and when I see I will delete this one here, and I will copy and paste this here, and I will try to change to loading. Nothing happens. Let me check that. Maybe it is not in the right place. I will cut, select, paste again. I see. I have to detach. That happens, you know. What we have to do over here, I have to detach this button, and then I have to create the components again. It's boring, but it is what it is. Right button, detach. Exactly. Where is that button? Oh, I can't detach exactly like this. When I want to edit a component like this, first I have to make a copy, because here I was playing with the real component. It's impossible. I have to play with some instance so I can detach the instance. Cool. Now it's just a group. I just have this background. I have this container. Yes, I just have this. Okay. Now this part here I will place into this group. Now I select both of them and I will make a component using the same structure, the same name. I just have to delete this one, select both of them, and make a new component. And see, I have this little thing here. I don't know if the component is going to run properly. Let me play it. Not running. Okay, not running, not right. So let me think the reason, because there that was playing really cool. Let me check the prototype after delay and cool things. I'm gonna to create a page here just for a matter of that test. I'm gonna have this darker color. I'm gonna copy some of them from here. I'm gonna paste it here. I can even increase the size of the instance, because it's an instance, it's not the real components, and with the instance I can do whatever I want. Let me play. See, now here it's working properly. It's totally cool, beautiful, spinning, running, right time. I can use in many applications, but we have to solve the problem inside of the button. Okay, so let me see what did happen. Here maybe it's a new component. Let me see, for example, if I remove something. Yeah, I think that we can use the way it was before. I think that it's possible. I will cut. If I select once, it's hard to place inside, but I will click here, container, right? And I will paste. See, now it's pasted properly. I had pasted before in the wrong place, I think so. And now I have to align inside of the button properly. Let me move in a little, just like this, and then I'm gonna to come back to the right page, animate buttons. Let me delete this one, it's not working yet. Let me change, edit it. See, now it's okay. It's okay, but it isn't, because you know what, we didn't do what we should do. So we gotta select this spinner, come back to this part, and we have to make those constraints for all of them. But now we can select all of them and do the changes at once. Come here, center and center, vertical and horizontal. Then let me see if I can select this one here and return to the instance. So nothing happened yet. Not the way I was expecting, so we need to work a little more on it. Yeah, because I use it here, and here I have to do that again, you know. Like I told you before, all those things, when they happen, they are a gift, because we have the opportunity to fix things. We have the opportunity to make things better, and it's important. So now I'm gonna play this screen the way it is, just to see if the spinner is running the way that I want. See, spinning properly. I can zoom in, like control plus, control minus, control plus again. So we have this spinning running, and this is exactly what we wanted. Cool. So now I can, for example, remove, I can duplicate, I can change the instance. We have loading. If we play, it will run properly, just like this. See, just play. Awesome. We can, for instance, for example, I think that here it's okay, but inside of the button, in that context, I'm thinking, wondering that the button is too small, but I can change, like going 20, something like this. I know normally we use 8 pixels grid, but in some cases we can use different measures, because visually I think it's gonna be better. And then we are talking as well about accessibility. So when things they are a little bigger, the user can see and understand better. Then so now we have things all set, all cool. They are, you know, working properly, so we can go on. Cool. That is this thing, this container, I think. Oh, this page. What the hell? This loading page. I don't know. This white thing here we can hide. Yes, I don't know. Cool. And here too, it's appearing like this, so we can hide and all the things. They will be cool. So the first part is okay. So let's duplicate, and here what we have to do is removing this button and moving this one here, just like this, aligning, snapping here. Then we can type exactly that way I showed you, minus 24. Cool. 24 here too. And the last one, it will be a page with some differences. Let's see closer. First thing, I want to hide these little icon, so I will press Ctrl Shift H, not number H, but the letter H. So we don't see that anymore, and then we have to align again. The distance will be 16. We measured that before, so just press and hold Shift, and then we move like this. 24, 16. If you are not moving in 8 pixels grid, it's important to come here, preferences. So here we have nudge amount. Probably for the first time that you are using Figma, that might be something like 10. I recommend you to change to 8. This is the right way, the way that most of the people they do. I can't say, I think that it's not fair, not good to say the way all the people do, because you know what, I'm not so straight talking about design. So yeah, maybe some people they use other types of measure things, distances, and you know, practices, and if the product is working for them, that's okay. So yes, I don't blame them. Here we have Roboto 16 regular. So let's have Roboto 16 regular. The text is gonna be information sent. Cool. So we align like using the 8 pixels grid, 48 or 40. Let me see which I used here, 32. So it has to be 32 to be consistent. Consistency is a matter of good products. Then this one here, 16. So distance 16, text 12. Cool. Regular 2. I will copy, guys. Okay, I will copy, and you type there. And then we can use auto layout. So select both of them, Shift A. I can call both of them text, because you know what, now we have this control. We can just slide up and down, or we can come here, press and hold Shift. We can play like up arrow, down arrow, and all around. Okay, cool. Here I like to come this way, minus 16 to be consistent. And here inside, I showed you before in other tutorials when we learned how to create those components, but I will reinforce that. I select here and I change, because it is an auto layout, right? An auto layout. So I can select here and change hug to fill container. I can even now it's possible to see, you know, we have a lot of room to type here, and here I do the same, fill container, so I have more room to type. Cool. And then now it's time to do the triggers. First trigger, I'll select it here, go to prototype. I can open here interactions. It will be click. So when I click, it's okay. When I click, I navigate right to the screen number 2, animating buttons. I can pick up it here, animating buttons. or I can do the way that we do normally. I can just come here and connect. As easy as that. Smart Animate. Perfect. But this one here, there is no click because it will process, because we are simulating that the system is thinking, and then at the end the system thought and answered us. So we have to imagine how long the system will take. We can sit down, have a conversation, we can sit by the developer and ask how long the system takes to answer, how many seconds, minutes, whatever. And the developer can say, maybe 2, 3, 4, and we can play this way, right? So it's not gonna be a click on this button, but the page will move, will go to the next one after delay, right? So I will do this connection. Here it's not on click because we are not going to click in any place. It will be after delay, so after some time, okay? Smart Animate too. I taught you before about those things. Here I used 300 milliseconds, okay? And here it won't be a problem. We are not using this is in, is out for now. So 300 to be the same, but you can try, and I even recommend you to try other numbers. So this flow 1 I'm gonna call animating buttons, and now we will play it here. So it's gonna be exactly the way that we did before many months ago. Those screens, it's filled, right? So the button, it gets this possibility of next. So the user clicks here. Cool. Press R and play again. So the user filled all the information, selected all the fields, all the things that he or she needed to do to proceed, and then click it next. Spinner running, the spinner spinning, and then information sent. So, and I was almost forgetting, we need to animate the button to from the state normal to hover. Yeah, because in this demonstration I showed you that we were about to do that, but I didn't do, so it's time to do that. I almost forget. I'm sorry guys. So what we have to do, it is to go to the main component. Let me select this one here or this one here. Then we come back to the design tab, we click here, go to main component, master component, and here we have to do a connection. We come back to prototype, we do this connection exactly like this, okay? And here it will be hover, so not on drag, while hovering. And while hovering, I want to play with this smart animate, okay? And here we already, I will remove this flow here, and here we can already play with our prototype. Let's see. Let me press R. I'm pressing the wrong key. There is something there animating, but it's not right yet. So while hovering, it comes here, button primary, and it has to come back. Let me see, not on click, pressing mouse leave. Let me try this way. Press R. I'm seeing any change, but then when we click, I can see the change. Let's think. Let me remove it from here. Let me see the reference, because I work it on the reference and there things are really right. So animating buttons, see here, design prototype. When I select it here, while hovering, change to hover. While pressing, we have this while pressing to change to. Okay, let's see there. Select here, design, main component, prototype again, while hovering, not navigate to, while hovering, swap, change to, not working. I think that the same problem we had here. I have to select all of them and make a no. Let me think what I did there, because they have to be inside of the same thing. I should have played it then before, because I thought that was going to work easier, but it's not a problem. For example, I can select both of them in design, combine variants. I think this way is gonna be cool. So select, I didn't show you yet about variants. I will do that in the future, but it will be necessary at this point. So I selected all of them, combine variants, so now they are just one thing. Then I go again to prototype while hovering. Let's see what happens. Press R, see, next, hover, yeah. We need to combine as variant. Guys, it's easier, simple, there is no hard thing. You have all the buttons, all the components, they are named with these forward slashes, and so you just need, guys, to select what you want to use, go to design tab and add here combine as variants. There will be a big component with 5 variants, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now it's easier to manage things inside of variants. So we have enabled, hover, pressed, see. And then when we come back to prototype, we can see things properly, right? When I click, we don't have that state, so, but it's there, it's here actually, see. It's on click, while hovering, not hovering, but after click, something like this. Mouse enter, click, yeah, it's click. See, I click and then it goes a little, but we don't have this screen to demonstrate. And what I can even remove from here. What I really want to show you is this hover state. But I don't know if you realize it, we have a problem here. When we hover, we don't see the next thing yet there. There are many ways to solve this. The easiest way is change it here. Okay? We can change it here. I don't know if we can change in other way, because we are already here, right? Property 2 enabled, primary 1, enabled 1. So we have 2 properties for this button, but we don't have text entered here. For example, let's suppose we could have something like this. See, it will change the way it is on the library, right? So the easiest way to solve it, it's gonna be to go to the main components and change it there. I think so, right? Because enabled, that was the component we inserted over there. So I will try, because I don't want to change it here because it may or may not mess a lot of other places that we work it. So I will try another thing first. I will try to copy and change to the hover state, and here I will type next. Cool. I will come back to enabled state. Those 3 points, I did that because I imagined that would happen. Cool, 3 points, and then when I go to hover, I have next. Yes, this is my point. Exactly my point. So here I will type next. So we don't need to go to the library and change it there, because like I told you before, we can have problems with these components when it appears in other places in our pages. So we can change all that we need in this second property. We could even organize that more. For example, we can select the button here. Actually, oh, see, enabled. We could go, for example, to disabled and type here next. This is the power of components. So we have here, we are not using this state, but if we needed, we had this. Next, we could change in all of them. Hover, not loading, of course, there is no text, but press it to next. So now we have all of them, they are set. We didn't change anything here because it's the last thing we should do for this sort of situation. So we can change only here. So we got loading, hover, next, next, all next. Cool. Now this first part here, it's enabled. So we go here and then we test here. Let me see what's going on. I changed it here. We tested. If I change it here to hover, it's okay. I don't know what's going on. Oh my lord. Enabled. Guys, you are with me. You are seeing exactly what I'm seeing too. I will try again if that's not going to change. So you know what we have to do. Next. Here it's okay. Next. Exactly the same, but when I come back to enabled hover. Oh, I was in the wrong flow. See, I know what's going on. We have another flow with the same name over here. Animating buttons. I will change like 3 dots, and now we see here. See, I was here, but I was changing here. Here, that was totally right. And then I was seeing in the wrong place. And I even changed it in the wrong place, I think so. But the thing should be changed here. Yeah, over. I have to play this prototype. Animating buttons, let's see. Okay, let's change the instance. Enabled, sounds good. What the hell is that? Not working yet, but here it's totally perfect. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, I didn't want to change it there, but I will change it here, whatever. Or I can create new components, but I don't want. I will change it here. If that is appearing in other parts, I'm sorry, but yeah, we can go this way. We can even detach from instance and so, but I won't do that. See, now it's okay. Yeah, the way it should be. And then when we click, where is the click? Let me come back to the instance. Let me check the triggers. Of course, because I removed the button and I applied another button. So on click, yeah. So let's test now. Now it's totally okay. See, click, process, triggers, and all the things are done. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm really excited to be here recording again, and I hope to see you in the next one. Enjoy yourself, stay safe, do the tutorial, and then let's grow up together. Bye bye.